want to thank all of the representatives from the Dural area because the mayor and everybody.
Mayor Christy Frago was sitting right next to Trump, but he either forgot that or did not recognize her. And either way, it was awkward.
Where's Christy? Is she around? Let's see. Right here. Christy. Oh, Christy. Christy. Oh, my Christy. Boy, oh, boy. Hi, Christy. Hi, sweetie.
Trump tried to recover from a senior moment, but only made it worse.
You've been so great. We've been so great, and we worked together for a long time, right? Although she's so young, it's not that long. It can't be that long, but it is. 13 years? Wow.
Yes, Trump and the mayor have been working together for 13 years, and she is so great, says Trump. But Trump couldn't recognize her next to him. There are multiple reports that the campaign has left Donald Trump exhausted. But this is more than exhaustion. Forgetting faces and names like this is a sign of dementia. Another sign is when you attack the very thing you engaged in a few months ago. In North Carolina this week, Donald Trump blasted critics who have spoken out against the judge in his Florida documents case.
If they start screaming about the judge is no good and this one's no good and they're slow and they're lousy judges and the judge should be impeached and all of this crap when you have a brilliant judge, I really believe it's illegal what they do. And I know there's some great lawyers in the room. You ought to look at it because what they do is so obvious.
It's obvious and illegal what the people are doing in criticizing a judge, which is ironic given that over the past year, Donald Trump has repeatedly criticized the judges in his various criminal trials and lawsuits.
He's a Democrat operative, and he's a disgrace to people that call themselves judges.
I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family.
They made up a fake case. They're fraudulent people. Our whole system is corrupt. This is corrupt, Atlanta is corrupt, and what's coming out of D.C. is corrupt.
And what's left of Donald Trump's liquefied brain has arguably been corrupted. Because now Donald Trump cannot remember things that happened a few minutes ago, never mind a year ago. The cognitive decline in the Kamala Harris campaign focus on Trump's increasingly erratic behavior does seem to be moving some of the poll numbers. A recent survey by Emerson, a highly respected polling company, found that late deciding voters, or voters who made their decision in the last month, have broken for Kamala Harris 60% to Donald Trump's 36%. Longtime Democratic strategist James Carville says the data, to him, is clear.
I think that Harris is going to win. Let me just say that up front, and I'm doubling down on that prediction, but could be wrong.
But Carville adds that the obsession right now with polling numbers is misplaced and does not help enlighten America.
We've become a nation of polling analysts. And my point is, it's 48-48. He says, I'm going to get rid of the Constitution. I don't think we should get rid of the Constitution. Why don't you just go out and report what he's saying that he's going to do? And they keep saying he doesn't mean that, and he keeps saying, no, I mean that. I'm saying what I mean.
A good example is Donald Trump's pledge to deploy the National Guard or military against Americans he has repeatedly described as the enemy within.
It's the enemy from within, all the scum that we have to deal with.
And then we have the enemy from within. And the enemy from within, in my opinion, is more dangerous than China, Russia. It is the enemy from within, and they're very dangerous. They're Marxists and communists and fascists.
Republican congressional leaders, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, insist that Donald Trump is not referring to political critics or rivals.
What he's talking about is marauding gangs of dangerous, violent people who are destroying public property. No, he's talking about using the National Guard and the military to keep the peace in our streets. In the summer of 2020, that my Democrat colleagues call the summer of love, it was crazy. It was mayhem, and Democratic progressive mayors and governors allowed it to go on.
Marauding gangs causing mayhem. Except that Donald Trump himself was asked what he meant by enemies within and stated, he is talking about Democrats, including House lawmakers Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff.
I use a guy like Adam Schiff because they made up the Russia hoax. It took 2 years to solve the problem. Absolutely nothing was done wrong, et cetera, et cetera. They're dangerous for our country. We have China, we have Russia, we have all these countries. If you have a smart president, they can all be handled. The more difficult are, the Pelosi's, these people, they're so sick.
And so Donald Trump is telling us, at least in his more lucid moments, that he does intend to use the military and law enforcement to round up his political enemies, to target Democrats. And if Trump wins the election, he's going to be able to say, I told everybody I was going to do this. I have the legitimacy of an election behind me. I'm going to start cracking down on dissent, on the enemies from within. And if Donald Trump somehow forgets that he planned to do that, he will have plenty of Trump lizard people around him to remind him to target Democrats and everybody else who says things that MAGA world does not like. Now, I hear some of you saying, oh, come on, Donald Trump doesn't really mean what he says. He has always used extreme rhetoric to get attention. Okay, but is that the risk America wants to take? Are we willing to put the Constitution in jeopardy on the hope that Donald Trump will abide by the Constitution? And even if Donald Trump is briefed on the Constitution and amendments like the First Amendment freedoms, is Donald Trump going to remember what they say and what it stands for? Or is he going to forget? As Kamala Harris keeps pointing out, Trump's cognitive skills are getting worse.
When he does answer a question or speak at a rally, have you noticed he tends to go off script and ramble? And generally, for the life of him, cannot finish a thought. And he has called it the weave. But I think we here will call it nonsense.
I get that Kamala Harris has to put it lightly and laugh about Donald Trump's decline, but the rest of us should take Donald Trump's erratic behavior seriously. People with dementia or similar issues can be dangerous to themselves and to others. Donald Trump would be dangerous to America and the world, and that's even if he remembers certain things about the world around him. But Donald Trump's decline is intensifying, and now he cannot seem to remember the people he has worked with who are sitting right beside him. Amnesia, dementia, and extreme narcissism would be a horrible combination in anybody. It would be even worse, and Trump would be even worse, back in the White House. By the way, some Nazi Trump voters recently got drenched and humiliated.
Hail Trump! Hail Trump!
Off the coast of Jupiter, Florida, those are self-proclaimed Nazis. Ex-user Leslie Abravanel took this photo and wrote, near Palm Beach right now, all Nazis are Trump voters. Sickening.
Hail Trump!
But the voters in front have had enough. Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Putatane, who wrote, I do not understand why more people on the right won't call these people out. I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump losing track of things and people even right next to him. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.